All right. Well, hey, Goddesses and Adoni, thank you so much for deciding to tune in for the very first webinar of the 2017 fall session of WOW and War United. Now, I know many of you who are watching are still processing, I know I am, the incredible energy and the love that we created at Golden Circle and the September meeting. For those of you that weren't there, we missed you, but watch for the video recording in the next few weeks. We definitely recorded it so that you could feel like you were there. So at that meeting, I unleashed so many incredible incentives, and I'm happy to report that all the flyers are now uploaded in the WOW page in the photo albums area. So you can go check that out and find all the great incentives if you missed the meeting. The flyers, along with some fall and holiday social media posts for booking and selling and recruiting, they're there too. And we'll be creating even more fun posts for you to share throughout the final months of 2017. So the WOW and WAR pages are where you can stay connected and in the know. So join them and be a positive voice in these supportive warrior communities. And this series is all about you. It's for you. And I want to tell you a quick story. Our Golden Circle speaker this year was Nikki Kiohoho, the grandmother willow of direct sales. And she said something very insightful and impactful that resonated with me. She said, sometimes you have to slow down so you can speed up. I wrote that down in my notebook. And then after Golden Circle was completed, I had this great privilege to sit with her in my car for almost 2 hours, where her and I went deep. She was able to elaborate on the idea of slowing down so you can speed up, because I told her how much it just hit home with me. And she said, Jen, you need to slow down so that you can figure out what it is you really want. Because when you're going at 100 miles an hour, it's really hard to figure those things out. So she said, you need to slow down so you can figure out what you want, then make your plan, and then you take off like a rocket and get it done. So you slow down so you can speed up. I loved that. So there are 6 30-minute calls in this WOW War program. They're designed as 30 minutes where you can slow down so that you can speed up. It's very important to me to create the space for you to focus on what you really, really want from your Athena's business. And right now is the time to start formulating your success plan for these final months of 2017. And I'd like to acknowledge you all for being Goddesses and Adoni that are committed to being here, because by learning more, you benefit yourself, your hostesses, your clients, your team members. The more you learn, the more you earn. And I love that you're the kind of person who chooses to make time to learn ways to become more skilled and more resourceful. So as always, there are code words throughout these calls, so listen carefully. The code words let us know that you are here and go towards your spoils of war. So your first code word is full, F-U-L-L. Your first code word is full. So I'm going to ask you now to close out of your Facebook page, shut down your notifications for just 30 minutes. You deserve this time to focus and leave your distractions behind. If you don't, you won't absorb the information that we're about to lay out for you. So if you're going to invest the time to be present, then be present. So now it gives me great pleasure to introduce my guest speaker to you. This is a woman of incredible integrity who has worked her business with passion and persistence since 2009. She has been our #1 seller, our #1 recruiter, Goddess of the Year, and most admired leader, 2 years in a row. I am so grateful to her for agreeing to take time out of her very full life to be here to share with all of us. So joining me today is Chrissy Shed, mother, wife, friend, successful entrepreneur, team leader, and all-around wonderful human being. Chrissy, welcome to Warriors United. Call number 1.
Woo! Call number 1, Jen. I am so excited. So excited. And thank you for that beautiful introduction. I appreciate you. Thanks to all the warriors, right?
Yeah, well, many congratulations are in order for you for your incredible summer sales and recruiting efforts. I'm thrilled for you being crowned Most Admired Leader for the 2nd year in a row by your peers.
Oh my gosh, I don't think anybody understands what this means to me. Thank you so much.
So I know it's the Wednesday after Golden Circle and September meeting weekend, and there have been dozens and dozens of posts on social media from Goddesses and Adoni, Adoni, who are overflowing with joy. I laid in bed all day on Monday, just reading all the messages, looking at all the pictures. And I think it was Sarah Miller who said she felt like she had like a love hangover.
Yeah.
So my first burning question for you is this. What is your process that you go through when you get home from a meeting?
Well, you have to really kind of reflect, I think is my biggest thing. You come home, just breathe, right? So reflection for sure. The meetings, gosh, Jen, your meetings are my favorite time of year for sure. Yeah, woo! But, anyone that has attended them, they know this. Your cup fills up, but mine like ridiculously overflows. So that's probably where the hangover comes from because you drink so much, right? Not literally liquor, but you know what I mean. But it's so overflowing. I need that decompression time. So Sunday night when I return is absolutely my family and cuddle time. It's unplugged. I hug my kids. I cuddle with my husband. It's just kind of a breathe and be present time. And then Monday, now this is my day of reflection. Wow. Coffee, sit back, breathe, reflect on each and every little piece and moment of the, awesomeness that we call our meeting weekend. So I go through everything that happened, the people I saw, that's my favorite part, right? The hugs, the new product, the speakers, man, everything else that was a part of the magic. And this is when I really start to decompress and come back to earth, right? Come back to earth. Tuesdays when I get my inspiration on the surface to start working it again and that's when I find what drives me. And that's when it's pedal to the metal when I go for it.
It's funny you said cuddle time. So I definitely cuddled with Curtis. Like I got home and I like took him into the bedroom and I'm like, can you just lay down with me for a minute? And I just like cuddled into his arms and he's like, you all good? You feel good? And I'm like, I do. I cuddled him. And then on Monday morning, my daughter like woke up and she was like, Mom, move over. And she came into my bed and like she pushed Daisy over and like we snuggled and she was just showing me on her phone and talking about her new job at Target. She loves it. And then that night when Gabe got home on Monday, like I just hopped into his bed and I snuggled him and we talked about everything that he had going on over the weekend. So I get it. Yeah, like that snuggle time is just unbelievable. And what I loved was each one of them said, so how did it go, Mom? Because they know what's important to me because Athena's is like the family business. And I know you feel the same way, like your husband and your kids are involved in your business. Like they know how important it is and they're with you all the way. And so for those of you that are watching that haven't made your spouse or your kids part of your business, I mean, no, I don't mean, show them all the sex toys, your 8-year-old the sex, that's definitely not what I mean. But what I mean is saying, Mom goes to work and this is why I go to work. And, this is how it makes me feel to go to work. And these are the things that I spend my money on. And so they become part of it. And, for me, like I truly believe that with my husband. And, for those of you that have spouses that might not be on board, please come to the January meeting, bring your spouse, have them attend Kurt's supporter meeting, which is just out of this world. And, for me, communicating how important your business is to your spouse is just, it's a make or break deal, because if they don't understand, then they might not be supportive. So for those of you out there that, have spouses, definitely involve them in your business. A family dream board is always a really good way to involve everybody in the process. So that's like my little tip for you. But now let's talk about you, Chrissy. Of all the things that you speak about on this webinar, I feel that this will be the most important as our warriors look to the final months of 2017 and their business goals. You are a very successful business owner. Can you give us insight as to the mindset required to reach your goals?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I love my business. Love it, love it, love it. And you have to love what you do, people. You have to have passion for it. And you're here for that reason. You have that passion. So, right, put it all in there. Also, You really have to allow yourself, warriors, you have to allow yourself to release all the regret that you might hold on to when it comes to your business. So whatever didn't happen this past summer that you would have liked to have happened, you know, the what ifs, the should have, the could have, they just get rid of that, push it out, breathe it out. It needs to be released, and put it in your damn past, put it in the past. And your past needs to stay in the past. Very important to realize. Don't reach back there and say, well, if I did this different, this could have happened. You can't do that to yourself. You can't stress about what you cannot control. And I'll say that a million times. You have to allow yourself to reach forward, grow a new garden. Okay. It's just like the seasons changing. Even if you had a great summer quarter, you need to move forward. So find what it is that you need for your business continue to move forward. And that's what you need to do. And never look back and never stand still. Even one step is a huge change. So allow that. Right, Jen?
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. So we had some time when we were preparing for this call to talk about a quote that is, sometimes you have to break down so you can have a breakthrough.
Right.
And when I looked around the room at Golden Circle, I saw some people writing furiously while tears were like pouring down their faces. They were having breakdowns. And that is where you break through to the other side, where you're like, oh my gosh, you know, like I'm having this emotional, like, outpouring where it's going to make room for so many amazing things in my life. So when my house got hit by lightning, you can imagine my stress level that day because I'm preparing for the meeting. And, you know, Cece, our mermaid goddess, sits right outside of my office. And so she had to hear me like just going through all this, like yelling and, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me. And why is this happening to me? And you know, because how could I not? Like, you know, I was trying to hold it together and, you know, but I was definitely, you know, venting to Cece. And later that evening, she sent me a picture of the tarot card, the Tower, which for those of you that don't know tarot cards, when you look at this tarot card, it's scary to look at. It's a building that's on fire because it's been struck by lightning. However, the meaning of the card is that sometimes things have to be destroyed to be rebuilt bigger and better than before. So in relation to your Athena's business, if you feel like the summer sun burned your business to the ground, this is where you rebuild. This is your time to create something that is stronger and better than before. So Nikki, when I had that time in the car with her, she did an exercise with me, and I'd like to do it with all of you, and even you, Chrissy. So take out a piece of paper and please draw a large circle, and then draw a smaller circle in the center. It should look like this, like a donut, right? Or a bagel with cream cheese on it, if that's what you prefer. So within the large circle, I want you to write the things that you can't control. So when it comes to your business, what can't you control? So let's write down like your top 3 thoughts. So Chrissy, what can't you control?
I can't control, let's do the weather.
Can't control the weather? Absolutely not. What else can't you control?
I cannot control what happened yesterday.
Yeah. Can't control traffic when you're on your way to a party.
Can't control traffic.
Can't control, you know, if people cancel because, you know, there was a death in the family, or there was a hostess who, you know, she had to cancel, or a kid broke his leg. You know, you can't control those things. So, you know, hostesses and clients showing up at your party, you really can't control that. How about team members? You can't control.
You can't control. Yeah, you can't control what they do or what they don't do, really. Right?
So I hope you're all writing down the things that you can't control. So when you do that in this big ring here, this is called the disempowerment zone, okay? And when you focus on this, you never truly reach your potential. So this little circle right here, and it's smaller because these are the things you can control. So Chrissy, what can you control?
I can control what I'm going to do today.
Mm-hmm. Your actions.
Yes, your actions. I can control how much, let's see, what else can I control? I can control my thoughts.
Mm-hmm, you sure can.
How about I can control my beliefs, Jen?
Oh, yeah. And truly, These are the main things that you can control. That's why they put in this little teeny tiny circle. So this is where you focus on your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions. And that is the place where you will find, that's the empowering zone. And that's where you're going to find success, happiness, and inner peace. Wow. That's where the bliss is found. And that's where your success emerges from. I love that. So that was one of my ahas with Nikki that I had to share with all of you. What was your aha moment at Golden Circle Breakfast, Chrissy?
Oh gosh, pick one, right? You're right.
There were many.
Golden Circle Breakfast. First of all, okay, people, you should absolutely be striving to be there next year. It's magical. It's so flippin' empowering. Why wouldn't one want to attend? And like you said, Jen, right? Tears and just breakdowns and breakthroughs and rebuilding, rejuvenation. It was incredible. So through all the, oh my gosh, wow, and all my tears and my laughter and wide eyes, I think there were just so many ahas for me. The one that stands out right now, Jen, is disempowering words, right? So disempowering words that you use with yourself, that I use with myself. So self-sabotage, like stop it, stop. Don't say I can't, don't say I won't, or this doesn't. Instead, say something like, you know, I'm going to, or this will work. I will be there at this point. Be specific and be positive about it. So the way you speak to yourself is really what's going to make or break that breakthrough for you, for sure. So you have to speak and think positively to move forward. So we're definitely our largest critics. And everybody's probably like, oh my God, yes, I am. We definitely are. We need to be our largest advocate instead. I think that's what a lot of people have a problem with. So your beliefs lead to your thoughts, and your thoughts lead to your beliefs, which both will lead you to whatever you do for an action. You have to allow the release of regret, right? And the acceptance of change, really, inevitably. Yeah.
Well, I love that. So here's my thoughts around the disempowering words, because I also wrote that down and thought, wow, I really, really need to change the way I speak. Isn't it interesting that some of the things we say to ourselves and about ourselves, we would never say about another person. And we would be so hurt if someone else said it to us. And here we are just like saying these things to ourselves. So two of the things that I felt that resonated with me is I say, I want and I need a lot, you know? I want the company to be successful. You know, I need to see more recruiting going on. So I say those types of things a lot, which means I'm constantly in a state of wanting and needing. So on Sunday, I'm talking to Talia, actually it was Monday. I'm talking to Talia on the phone and we're recapping her amazing weekend. And she said to me, I just want to be happy. And I said, hey, let's rephrase that with the empowering language that Nikki was telling us about. And she said, I expect to be happy. I will be happy. And we both had this breakthrough that we could support one another on our language. So this will transform both of our lives and how we show up in the world. So that was a big breakthrough for us. And I love that those of us that went to Golden Circle Breakfast, we all understand this. So I hope that all of you that were there, you will support each other here at Athena's to become better people by just saying, hey, you just said I want, you just said I need, and changing that. You know, it was, so the replacement words were I choose, I expect, I am, I will. Like, wow, like those words just like change everything. So speaking of Talia and her big wins, there were so many incentives and ways to earn and win prizes at Athena's. And a lot of people say to me, there's so many prizes, it's crazy. I just can't even believe there's so many. I've never seen this in any of the company. When it comes to our incentives, you are very focused and you work very hard to achieve the ones you want. So could you tell us about that process?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, Jen, thank you, right, for offering these incentives, because we couldn't work towards them if we didn't have them to work towards. So
My pleasure.
And you make them attainable for everybody to reach, not just your top people like so many companies do. So again, thanks.
You're welcome.
You know, anyone can reach at least one. So you just have to put your mind to it and you have to work for it. So let's see, me personally, during my reflection day after a meeting, I choose what speaks to me. So usually at the meeting, one or two kind of are like, whoo, you know, this is me. They jump out at me. So for example, let's start with years ago, there was an iPad challenge. I worked every day on it, whether it was a couple minutes or hours. It's what works for you, but that's what worked for me at that point. I wanted this iPad because I wanted it to run my business with. Mm-hmm. So it spoke to me personally for that. So I worked on it in my business. This past quarter, I was super excited about the iPad challenge for a little different reason. My son wants one. He's wanted one since he was teeny. He'll be 10 soon. So I think it's time for him to get one. He's responsible enough. So I visualized that. I worked my tail off on that. And I had a poster in my office and I achieved it. So that's for him. And then let's say, speaking for my family, all as one. So Daytona. Like you mentioned, Jen, you know, vacation's so important for moms, dads, for us to kind of breathe and recoup and do what you need to do. But it's also for my family. So I've noticed really with the vacations I've taken with Athena's and why Daytona reached out to me is that my kids and my husband have built this ridiculously incredible bond together. It's beautiful to watch. But it's also made them to appreciate me more too. In business and in life. So Daytona gave me time to breathe, reflect, and just be with you, right? It was beautiful. So both they and I made memories. And then when I got home, we were able to sit and talk about what we were thankful for what we did, share stories, and be together at that point. So I think that's definitely made our bond stronger. So all of those reached out to me in different ways.
So you pick the ones that mean something to you and your family. You decide this is what I'm going for, and you have a strong why. So the next piece is creating a plan and ways to stay on track with those incentives. So how do you do that?
Yeah, you get to work.
Hey, get to work. I love it.
Big secret, right? Hustle. I mean, I love what I do, as many of us do, and that's truly the key. Ways to do so to work towards certain incentives are to revamp my demo. I mean, you give us 3 amazing product lines a year. 3. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's pretty incredible. So you don't get bored with your demo, right? But it also gives new products, and those incentives are the products a lot of the time. So showcase those products that are in the challenge with more emphasis on them. And you're obviously going to sell what you show, right? This way, I don't get bored with my demo too. I hear so many goddesses and Adoni say, oh my gosh, I'm so bored. And they don't change a thing. You have to keep yourself just as entertained as you do your clients. And these incentives help with that too. So it keeps it fresh. It keeps it interesting. I also create an inspiration station. We came up with that word today, right? Inspiration station, which I adore. This is where my orders are packed. So my husband built me an office, and he put this granite countertop in there in front of me. So what I see right away are these, cards from you. I have one from Jess Carter. I have some from way back when, just people, thank you, you're awesome. Just very positive, uplifting reminders of what I've achieved, just my accomplishments, celebrating it. And artworks for my kids, because that's important too, right? So those are all on there. And then I also write notes to myself, to which incentives I want to reach. And those are on my right. So I have, the incentives and the posters for them, and then long-term dream boards and short-term dream boards that inspire me. So I love that.
Your eyes are like the portal to your soul. What you see penetrates and goes deep inside of you. So I really love the fact that you have an inspiration station where you have these things that inspire you and remind you of your success. And that's not that hard to create. I mean, you could just take your favorite quotes and you could tape them up on the wall. I think that's wonderful. I love that. And I love that you incorporate your kids' art, because that's why you're doing this. I know that your ultimate goal, Chrissy, was to stay home and raise your children yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what you've done. That's what you've done, and that's beautiful. So I know people are eager to learn, how they can achieve success, and you are successful. So if you could give me just one key to the door of Chrissy Shedd's success, what would it be?
Consistency. Truly, you have to stay consistent. You have to work on your business every day. And I'm not saying you got to work 132 hours a day. People think that I tell people I eat, sleep, breathe Athenas. I do, but I have time for me too. But you have to work your business every day, whether it's 10 minutes or 8 hours, whatever works for you. I'm saying that you need to get something up and running every day. So also success is walking from, what we deem failure to failure. Walk from failure to failure and learn by them without losing your enthusiasm. That's the hardest thing. People need to look at their failures as a learning curve to their success. We wouldn't succeed if we didn't fail, and be excited about that. I know that sounds crazy, but I've learned to embrace that. Through that persistent journey, you're going to find consistency needed to succeed the way you need to for you. That's what's important.
In my DDP yoga, DDP will say, if you fall down, who cares? Get back up again.
Yes.
And that's when little kids fall down, when they're learning to walk, they don't never walk. They get up and they try again. So with your business, be like a toddler. If you fall down, get back up and move forward. Mm-hmm. Your second code word right now, and it's speed. SPEED. Your second code word is speed. So Chrissy, you made a good point that, you don't have to work your business, 24 hours a day. And you do eat, sleep, and breathe Athenas is what you said. But you do balance your award-winning business with your family life and your self-care. How do you do that?
Yeah. I get this question a lot, and people need to realize that balance doesn't come overnight. It's learned. And again, you're going to learn that. You just need to allow yourself that time. Last year, I took off 14 weeks. Mind you, you said 2009. A lot of people don't realize 2006 was my first run. So technically this is 11 years for me and not 8. But it won't happen overnight. So think of that. Okay. Even 8 years, that's some time. I've done so, and I continue to allow myself to reflect on what works and what doesn't work. So also allow self-celebration. You need to. Yeah. Yeah. And that too. Yeah, absolutely. Allow yourself a celebrator. But I give my family the time that they need, since they need that as well. So this fills me up, and it really rejuvenates me to come back to my business full force and then back again. Right? So you have to find what you need and desire and do it. So I allow myself me time for me every single day. Whether it's an hour or 2 in the afternoon, I take that break in the middle of the day, because you will burn out if you don't. I hear everybody say the midday crash. Whether it's the gym, I go in my garden, I run with my dog, anything, whatever it is. I make sure that that's time for me. And then when my kids are home, it's family time. It's them. On the long-term scale, my family gets holidays for us to unplug. And when I say holidays, I mean everything. Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July. These are traditions and memories that we have. They also are my biggest cheerleaders, since I explain to them the importance of shows, office time, meetings. They really respect that at this point, and they understand that because I kept that consistent for both of them and me. They respect that, and I respect them and my time with them as well.
That's so wonderful. Do you know that kids who are raised in direct sales households see their moms and dads working towards something for the family, for themselves, achieving things, overcoming obstacles, and, those kids grow up to achieve great things themselves because it's been modeled for them. So remember for everyone who's watching, how you run your business also affects your children. So if you're stressed out and you're unhappy, that is what they're seeing. But if you're celebrating your wins and you're talking to them about success and what you've achieved and how you overcome your obstacles, it's going to make a huge impact on who they become as adults.
Yeah.
So warriors, Chrissy is someone who has achieved the WOW and WAR goals over and over again. So Chrissy, can you give the warriors some insight as to how you stay on track with the WOW program, and also how you support your team members to participate and stay on track?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's really all led from my why, right? We talk about the importance of your why. Know it, live it. You have to. You have to know where you stand, right? So having a thermometer is helpful for your goal. What I mean by that is write your goal on a board and break it down by weeks, not months, not quarters, weeks, and really keep track of what you're doing. So this way you can see what you need and where you are at that point. So stay focused on your why rather than the prize. So I want you to remember that. So keep your eyes on the whys and not the prize, right? Also, have an accountability partner. You've heard this before. Have somebody there. That's really, really important. Okay, so yeah, definitely.
If you don't have an AP, go to the Wow and War page and find one, because it's important, like Chrissy said, but don't pick your BFF, your Athena's goddess friend or Adonis, because that's not productive. Pick someone you admire, someone who has similar goals, someone you don't know. Write yourself a personal ad on the Wow page, what you're looking for, and post it on Wow and War. And Chrissy, can you tell me what you look for in an accountability partner?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I love the personal ad, right? I can't wait to see everybody's ads. So let me give some examples. So Sarah Miller and I were great APs a few quarters back. So we kind of inspired each other on a needed basis on what we needed and what was happening. And then we connected, every day or every other day on what was working and what wasn't. And then I had Talia. Now this was a completely different type of AP that hit something else that I needed, which was beautiful. And there's so many different people out there, which is awesome. And she and I were on a more chiseled level, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So we had pinpoints of what we needed to do. She gave me a big boot in the ass, and I her, so that was nice. And what we needed and wanted to achieve, and we constantly reached out to one another, but said, I'm going to talk to you Monday at this time. So then we had a time frame as well. And then we connected, we reflected, and then we moved on to the next step. So that was also very good for me. And that's what worked for me. And that's what people need to find.
And you change up your AP partner. You don't stay with the same one every time.
Correct. I actually recommend doing that because if you stay with the same person, it's the same ideas, right? So I think by changing that, you're going to find new things that work for you. And with every AP I've found something new that has worked for me. And I really find that imperative. Yep.
Well, I'm going to assign our warriors their first Wow War challenges. You ready? I'm going to challenge you all to, number one, create an inspiration station. Pick your favorite incentive, look at it, decide why you want it. And, you don't have to have an office. If you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have a big office or wall space, you don't have to. It can be the background on your cell phone. It could be one of the incentives taped to your bathroom mirror. It could be a daily reminder that you have set on your cell phone. Tape one of the incentives over your toilet paper roll in your bathroom. Whatever it is, create your inspiration station. If you do have an office, then go for it. Put a dry erase board. I know that's what Talia did. She wanted to collect $10,000, in profits to put in her bank account so that she could buy a home with a backyard for her son. She bought a whiteboard. She had a big, huge thermometer on it, and she had little tick marks. And after every party, she filled in the blanks. So if you have a big office and room for it, I think the bigger it is, the more important it can be and the more in your face it can be. So I'm going to ask you to create an inspiration station and then share it. So if it's sales, post it in Wow. Post a picture of your inspiration station in Wow. If it's recruiting related, post it in War. So this is where you'll gain support from your Athena's family. Then we're all going to be sharing in each other's journeys. And so someone posted the inspiration, a picture of their inspiration station saying, I want to sell $6,000 and I'm going to pay cash for Christmas, or I'm going to go to Black Friday shopping for the first time in my life. We can all cheer you on, like, yay, go for it. So do this by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, September 17th. So I'm going to ask you to take action now, create your inspiration station now. Take a picture of it, post it in the WOW page if it's sales, post it in the WAR page if it's recruiting, and I'll enter you to win a free womanizer to go. That's right, there's going to be 2, one for WOW and one for WAR. So I'll create a thread for you to post your pictures of your inspiration station. And don't forget to post your inspiration station on your personal social media to enroll your clients and friends and family in what you're trying to achieve. And number 2, I'm going to ask you to find your accountability partner in the WOW and WAR communities. So visit the communities, type up your little personal ad about what you're looking for, and you'll find your person. So, Chrissy, gosh, we've had a great call, it's not even a call anymore, a great webinar. So what are your closing thoughts for our warriors?
I stay consistent. Just please promise yourself. And I want to see that on your inspiration station, just consistency, right? Have fun with that. But it's really important. Don't give up. Please don't give up, because the only way that you can fail in this company is to give up. Mm-hmm. There are no real true failures unless you do that. So please don't. Also allow yourself to have self-reflection every day. Find what works for you. Jen, I love your, at the end of the day, writing in your journal. I know Jen Madsen has a little bowl, and she puts everything, like every day, something she's thankful for, and to be able to see that, and reflect on that is awesome. Give yourself time for self-care. DDP yoga, Pearl just went and got it, right? So it's something that is important for you, for your self-care. Allow that time. And then if you need support, reach out. Come on now, people, look at this community that Jen has made for us and that we've all become part of. You have somebody here. You have many people here. Just reach out. Don't be afraid to. You're a warrior. You have this. Now let's go friggin' get it, shall we? Welcome to fall.
Yeah, here we go. This is the kickoff, Chrissy. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for taking time out of your full life to do this for Athena's and for all of the Goddesses and Adoni. And I know that you have Fear the Walking Dead time for you, for your self-care and your, your romance with your husband to go and cuddle and watch your favorite show. So thank you so much for doing this for me. I appreciate it. You're the best.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I love Fear the Walking Dead myself. Well, I'm very excited to think about where we'll all be in January. I expect to see you at the January meeting shining bright and earning your free toys and lotions and work, and all of that is just the cherry on top of the sundae of working your business. And you have the tools you need to build a profitable and satisfying business here at Athena's. You just got to pick them up and you got to use them. This weekend is National Party Weekend. My dream is to see $500 parties come through. I know this will happen. I can see it. I believe it. I know that the day is going to come, and I am going to probably cry and weep and be like, oh my gosh, it's finally happened. So get out there and work your businesses this weekend. I'm sending you lots of positive vibrations for a successful kickoff to the holiday selling season. And you have the booking tools too. You've got the 5-star treatment. This is one of the most enticing promotions ever. Chrissy, did you love that one?
It actually, tonight before I talked to you, I posted it up, and everybody's posting it up, which is great. I had 30 comments. I got 5 bookings.
Wow.
People need to use it.
Yes. So one lucky hostess who has a $500 party in September, October, November, or December is going to win $500 cash, $500 in free Athena's products, and 5 hours in a limousine. Wow. So the more parties you do, the more you can share it. And, not only this over-the-top creative booking incentive, but you also can share the business opportunity. This business changes people's lives forever. And all new recruits who join in September, October, November, December have the chance to win $500 in cash and $500 in free products. And so will you, recruiters. If you recruit people, you get entered too. So every recruit gets you entered to win a valuable $1,000 prize. So get out there, share the opportunity, build your business, and feel proud. So it's now time for me to give you a chance to win a new holiday booster kit. Woo! You can put in your demo, put in your stock, or put right between your thighs. So share a comment with your aha moment. by midnight tonight in the submission form that you can find in your email that you received this great webinar in, and you'll be entered to win the free holiday booster kit. Oh yes, one lucky winner is going to be winning 5 demo products valued at $351 free, and I'll announce it tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to give you the final code word and the instructions. So fill out the Google Docs survey that was included in the email. Share your aha moment by midnight. I want to know what you thought of this video. And how do you like video instead of just a call? It's pretty cool, huh? You can see me and Chrissy. Yay! So you can find the Google Docs submission in the email that contain the audio, the link, and it's also posted in the Wow and War Facebook groups. I want to let you know that too for your convenience. Click on the link, fill it out completely, and you will be entered to win that amazing booster kit. And it's also counted as proof that you were here towards the spoils of war, and enters you to win your free items and your $25 gift certificate and a trip to Mexico. You definitely don't want to miss out on that. So again, midnight on Warrior Wednesday, get it in. But if you can't listen on Warrior Wednesday, I understand. You'll have till 11:59 p.m. on Friday, September 15th to complete and submit that Google Docs survey. So here's your final code word, and it's ahead. AHEAD. Your final code word is ahead. So warriors, this is a new day. You are here because you want to find your path to greatness. You are here because you care about our mission of quality sex education. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of it. We're going to spread our mission of self-love, self-care, connection, and higher vibration to people who need it, because they're out there. Together, we'll change lives for the better, and we'll make the world a little brighter. Your personal growth and ever-increasing abundance is at the forefront of my priorities. So thank you one more time, Chrissy, for your time and your wisdom. And I'll be back next Wednesday with the second inspiring webinar starring Talia Kocha, a woman who has a lot to share with you about increasing your bookings. But until then, I'll see you in our Facebook communities, and I look forward to reading your aha moments and seeing your inspiration station photos. Goddess bless, and Chrissy, have fun watching Fear the Walking Dead.
Will do. Thanks so much.
Bye.